vanish.
So I've been looking at a bunch of YouTubers posting their reactions and their impression of the new Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. As you guys know, Bandai Namco has just announced that Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is now a go, it's happening, get hyped up. They released a small teaser trailer which was about 1 minute long, showing us some few bits and, teasers to let us know what's to come in the future. And in the comments that I've seen so far, like, a lot of people are pretty much hating on the game or saying that they're not excited for the game. And I get that, like, you have your own right, you have your own opinion. You obviously, if you don't like the game, if you don't think it impresses you, then that's fine. But some of you were going a little bit overboard. Like, some of you were already like shutting down on the game, saying like, oh, it looks shit, this is not what I wanted. And it makes me, like, when I see these comments, I'm like, did you not play Xenoverse 1? Like, what were you expecting? Some people, in my mind, from what they've written in the comments of other people's YouTube videos, they were expecting like a visual jump from Call of Duty to Battlefield, and that has never happened in a Dragon Ball game ever. Like, I feel like most people who pretty much look forward to a sequel of a Dragon Ball game, you're focused on two things: the combat and the amount of characters that are going to be in the game. Now, Xenoverse 1 biggest downfall from other people's opinions was that the lack of characters. Specific characters weren't available in the game, such as Janabe, Kula, who else? Like some of the androids. Yeah, there were a few characters that weren't available, and that kind of disappointed a few of the fans. Now, we know from Dimps' action of the previous game, Xenoverse 1, that they are actually listening to the fans. Like, they are trying as best they can to pretty much appease to the fans. Like with Xenoverse 1, we saw that they released numerous patches to try and address certain situations, broken Z souls, OPS, techniques. Like, they were trying their best. So we know that Dimps is listening to the fans. So when Xenoverse 2 got announced, this excites me because I know that, well, I think I know that, Dimps will have listened to all the feedback, all of the suggestions that we the fans have given them in the past couple of months. And what excites us is that we are hoping to see those suggestions and feedbacks being implemented in Xenoverse 2, because Xenoverse 1 was, damn near flawless. Like, it was close to be flawless. The only downfall that I had with Xenoverse personally was the fact that some of the story modes were kind of lackluster. Honestly, there weren't enough. I think for me, like, there was something about the story mode that didn't really capture it for me. I don't know what it is, but I can't remember now. But no, I think I remember now. I think the fact that my character wasn't able to talk kind of took me out of the immersion. That was my only downfall for the game. The combat was really good. Like, if you've played Xenoverse on the day it was launched, and a couple of months in, the combat for that game was almost perfect. There was only a few things that made the game kind of unfun, which is, the Super Saiyan transformation having infinite ki blast. Pretty much some ultimates can lock you in and hit you from pretty much all angles. Small things like that, which teams have tried to fix in some aspect, but they haven't really done too much on the other places. But this is the first time we've seen this type of Dragon Ball game being developed. So with Xenoverse 2, a lot of us in our minds knew that they're gonna take everything that made Xenoverse 1 good and improve on it. Like, this game, Xenoverse 2, I'm seeing Xenoverse 2 as an improvement of Xenoverse 1. Obviously, they're gonna touch upon the visuals, which, by the way, the visuals look pretty good. I don't know why people are tripping. Like, it's not a big jump. No one was expecting a big jump. It's a Dragon Ball game. Like, even so, like, I said in my impression video that it looks like they went upwards in terms of the visual, that they improved a bit, that they took a step up in the visual, and they did. Because if you look at Bardock when he got blasted by Frieza, if you look at Frieza when he was laughing at Bardock, and if you look at, you know, Teen Trunks when he was crying, those were some sick ass animations. Now they're probably in-game animations, but they're still sick though. Like, this is some next level shit. And the fact that this game is going to be current gen only. Now this hasn't been confirmed yet. I am praying that this is confirmed though, because if it's current gen only, do you guys understand the potential that this game will have? Now the reason why, I remember them having some sort of an interview back in June when Xenoverse 1 was announced, and pretty much when they announced that they could have done, I guess, permanent destructible, you know, maps for the game, but because they were bringing it for their last gen as well, it restricted them in the resources that they needed to be able to dedicate it to, you know, making this kind of things. But now that the game seems to be only current gen, the potential is pretty much out there. Like, they could go all out, use the power of the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and the PC to really make this game hype. Now, can you imagine us flying around and just destroying things and seeing that thing destroyed until the end of the match? Now, that's pretty damn hype. So, a lot of people are hating, but I don't see why they're hating. They haven't shown much. Like, we haven't seen much of the game yet. All we've seen is a bunch of, you know, cutscenes from various scenarios, like, you know, the Goku versus Frieza, the Tolls scene when he smiled. We saw Slug smiling as well. That's it. So people hating on it already is like, you either haven't played Xenoverse 1 to understand why some of us are actually hype about the game, or you have played Xenoverse 1 but your expectations went way above normal standards. You were expecting this game to go from Call of Duty Infinite Warfare to Battlefield 1 kind of thing. Like, it's not plausible with it's not plausible with a Dragon Ball game. Like, even the Naruto games, come on, look at the Naruto games, for example. The Naruto fans, like, we look for improvement in graphics, but our biggest concern has always been the combat mechanics. We have always looked at the combat mechanics as number one, because if that fails, the game fails itself. Like, you will not be able to play this game. Like, that was why, I think it was Revolution. Yeah, I think that's why Revolution died so quickly, because the combat mechanics that they implemented, like the counter and all that stuff, really damaged the game to the point where people didn't want to play the game anymore. And that's why Storm 4, like, Storm 4's graphics didn't go all the way up, but it improved, and the combat improved so well that it was praised by everyone. Like, you can ask everyone that plays Storm 4 if you think what they think of the combat, and they will tell you the combat is pretty damn awesome. And that is what excites most of us Xenoverse fans, is that, I know it sounds like I'm damage controlling, but I'm trying to just bring out some facts here as to why you shouldn't judge the game until you've seen some actual gameplay at E3. If you're on this, you know, on the fence with this game, stay on the fence, but don't hate it because you've seen few bits. Like, you've barely seen anything to make judgment of. Like, you know, you've seen, you know, the hero fly around the hub, which, by the way, I don't understand once again how people have not mentioned that you can fly now. The flying thing, it looks amazing, by the way. So you can fly now. There's verticality now. You're no longer bound to just being on the flat surface of the hub. You can now be on top of trees, on top of buildings. Yo, the sky's the limit. We've seen some few cutscenes now. I still don't understand the whole traveling back in time and traveling back in the future thingy. Like, I was like hoping that we would just move forward, henceforward, you know, we would just move forward and just stay as it is. But I guess we're going back in time again to various epic scenes like Goku versus Frieza, Gohan versus Cell, all that stuff. And I don't know, like, it depends really on what they're gonna do. Now, the last scene of the trailer pretty much just says what you wish for, what you wish that you could change has happened, or something like that. Like, it gives hints that we could possibly change history and actually allow it to change. So that's going to be interesting to see how we are going to be able to affect history. Like, I can't say much about this topic since I don't know how they're gonna do it, but I'm looking forward to seeing it. So the other thing I want to touch on quickly before I end the video is that a lot of people are concerned that because the game has just gotten announced today and already we have a release schedule for 2016, a lot of people jump to the conclusion that this game is rushed, this game looks like it's going to be trash, and it doesn't really make sense to say that because we don't know when they actually started development. All we know as the consumer is that, the game has been announced today, 17th of May 2016, and we know that that is going to be released pretty much in 2016. Now a lot of people are saying, it only took them 1 year to make this game, so it's going to be trash. But you guys need to understand this. Like, this is something that you guys need to just think before you actually say what you are thinking. Because number one is that if you look back, because I know this for a fact that the Budokai Tenkaichi series is praised as one of the greatest Dragon Ball games of all time. I don't personally think that's the case, but that's my opinion. And if you look back at all three series, Tenkaichi 1, 2, and 3, each of them came, a year after the next one. So, and each of them ended up being better than the last one. So, that's one fact. Another fact is that since they already have Xenoverse 1 down, they already have the base code for the game. All they need to do is tweak it. So, tweak the visual a little bit, tweak the combat. The combat is the essential part. That is my biggest concern, is the combat. Once they fix the combat, this game will be glorious. That's all I'm saying. So once we see fixing on the combat, and that'll be fine. So once you have a base code, you don't really need to start from scratch again. You can just work on the resources that you have already and just improve on the game. So what I'm trying to get out with this video is that it's a teaser trailer. You can't really say much from the teaser trailer. Even I can't say much from the teaser trailer. All I can do as a fan of Xenoverse 1 is to get hype and hope and pray that Dims have actually listened to us, which I've seen signs of with the patches, patch notes, fixes. They are listening, so that gives me another confident boost to say that I think Xenoverse 2 will actually be far superior than Xenoverse 1. And I don't know, for me personally, I enjoyed the fuck out of Xenoverse 1. When that game was launched midnight, I played throughout the entire night and the rest of the fucking month. I couldn't stop playing the game. I had to actually stop myself from playing the game because that game was really fun. The combat was nice. Just being able, it was like a breath of fresh. Ooh, I can't speak today. What the fuck? It was like a breath of fresh air. You have your custom created character. You're going through the story from a different perspective. It was really an interesting game. So yeah, all the hate or all the jumping to conclusion is not really warranted. You guys need to chill a little bit. You guys know me. If there's bullshit to be called out, I'm gonna call out the bullshit. So what I'm saying is that have a little faith. Wait till they release a full trailer showcasing what the game has to offer, because you can't really judge the game from a teaser trailer. I mean, yes, they use some scenes from Xenoverse 1, like the whole Frieza scene, Gohan and Goku scene. There was another scene that was from Xenoverse 1. But then when you look at the end of the trailer, it's like they're showing us what the game, it's like they're showing us a little bit of the previous game and then what is possible with the next gen at the end of the trailer. If you look at it, it's like the trailer is just so divided as well. So because I can see where people are getting this impression of this game is going to suck, because we see some of the assets that was in Xenoverse 1, but then you have the end of the trailer that was so freaking mind-blowing. You can't tell me you didn't see Bardock being blown to bits. You can't tell me you didn't see, Frieza laughing with that godly animation, and you cannot tell me you did not see Team Trunks, those freaking tears, the facial animation, Jesus, that was it's like a separate trailer. I don't know. The trailer itself is kind of confusing. Like, I feel like maybe Dames could have done a little bit better with the teaser trailer, but my point is that have patience, don't judge the game until you see gameplay. Until we see gameplay, all we saw is just teasers. The purpose for that trailer was to tease us, to let us know, hey, Xenoverse 2 is happening. I'm just letting you know. Whatever you do with this information is up to you. I'm just letting you know that Xenoverse 2 is out there, you know? So, you know, you can get hype if you want to. I'm just letting you know. That's what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing. So, anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comment sections below. I feel like some of the people who are jumping to conclusions, who are hating, and really hating with some logic behind it, I feel like they're just jumping to the whole conclusion of, yo, this shit looks like Xenoverse 1, so I might have to hate immediately. So, you know, well, if you're asking me of what I want to see in Xenoverse 2, which I probably already said in this video, but I'm just going to react. Wow, you know, I can't speak today. I'm just going to rephrase what I'm saying. Pretty much, I want the combat to be improved. Like, I want that shit to be improved so badly. I want Super Saiyans to be nerfed. Even though my character is a Super Saiyan, a Saiyan himself, I want Super Saiyans to be nerfed. No more of that whole infinite key bullshit. The freaking RNG. That shit needs to be nerfed to oblivion. Oblivion. We're not doing that shit anymore. We're not doing that shit where I'm trying to get a freaking warp Kamehameha and I'm spending like 15 hours trying to grind for that. No. That shit needs to be freaking nerfed to fucking oblivion. Cutscene. If the cutscenes are anything like we've seen in that teaser trailer, I'm perfectly fine. I'm cool. Now, as you guys know, I already told you guys, I'm not too sure on how I feel about the whole traveling back in time again. I know we are time patrollers, but I was hoping that we would time patrol in some other areas, like in the future. I know there's future, but there's past, and I don't want the past. And the past seems like we're going to be touching on the past that we've already touched on in the previous game. Now, if what I've been hearing is true, and we can actually affect the timeline differently, so that we can change the timeline to be completely different. Let's say we can actually have Raditz actually win the fight against Goku, or we could make Gohan lose, or whatever the case may be. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace. Amazing. It kind of sucks that you won't be able to see other people's one, or maybe they might actually do that. Maybe like it'll, you know, like a slideshow, like it'll keep changing.